Yep.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another Let's Read. If you remember, I did one before on Bong Chong Dong Ghost. I hate saying that. I'm joined by five other people. I'm joined by Ethan.
Hello.
Jasper.
What's up?
About damn time. Oliver.
Hi.
Jules.
Bonjour.
And last but not least, Brandon, also known as Twitch.
Hi, guys. My name's Brandon.
Hey guys. Hey Brandon. Anyway, and we're going to be reading the Creepypasta story Hope is Lost. It's a Spongebob creepypasta. We spent about half an hour just
before
then.
you continue, I need to get a few tissues and moisturize it. 1 sec.
Oh god, moisturizer.
Get the lube while you're at it.
Jesus Christ.
That's not right.
Get the loop. You're right.
We spent a good half hour trying to figure out a running order for how we're going to do this in paragraphs.
And game of Skyrim.
Stop playing Skyrim. I want to get to this. It's supposed to be a scary story. Alright, so let's stop wasting time here. We're already a minute and a half through. Let's get started.
Chill.
Hello, my name is Nicholas. Now, today I'm going to tell you a story of what may have seemed a typical day to any normal intern. But there was nothing normal about today. Now, to understand my horror, I want you to do a few things before you continue reading. Firstly, turn out all the lights. Utter darkness. The only light radiating from your computer screen. Secondly, make sure there is utter silence, not a sound. No television, no music, no talking. So how are we going to do this?
Shit.
This is fun.
Lastly, make sure you're alone. You'll see why soon enough. Oh, how very soon you'll see. I lost my voice at the end, damn it.
Do I really have to read like that?
No, you can read however you want, I just want to do it because it's
I'll
fun.
just read normally then.
Oh, what?
It was my first day as an intern at Nickelodeon Studios. They picked me up after receiving my associate's degree from ITT Tech. It was a stupid school, but it taught me what I need for this chance.
Wow.
Giggity.
We just started.
Running donuts and making coffee sucked. I can tell you that much, but it had its perks. Me being on the road of an editor, I sometimes received the opportunity to see episodes before they were officially released. Today I was invited into the editing studio, but you see, it was odd. There was no one in there. Normally this would cost me my internship, but oh god.
Oh
I
god.
couldn't resist the urge.
It's turning into
Pulled
a
out my pants. It was overwhelming. Encompassing.
Encompassing.
I didn't want to say that. Oh, God, that feeling.
Oh!
Oh, God.
Oh, is it my turn now? No.
Yes.
As soon as I walked in, the door slammed behind me. I figured this was one of those somewhat cruel pranks the editors sometimes pull on the new guys. So when the door locked, I could read. I figured this was some kind of punishment, and my heart slowly sank. My internship was in huge jeopardy. Oh, they probably already knew I was here. Panicking, I ran the door with all my force, slamming into it with all my might. Best to open it first, buddy. Now, not to boast, but I was not the weakest guy. I'd been working out for the past 3 years, but dear Lord, there was something on the other side of that door. Some force stronger than the strongest man. Making sure I couldn't leave until I did what I was sent in to do.
Now, in my panic, I hadn't noticed the netbook on the chair and the small table it was sitting on in the disc tray. There was a blank CD. Usually they were editing this completely cherry episodes, just barely living production. It didn't have any markings or even a name, but something beckoned me. Something pushed me
you're a
to the
robot.
chair. Shut up.
Put some emotion in, boy.
and forced me to sit. As I slowly pulled the chair back, my heart rate, I fucked it up, slowly increased. You could almost hear it in my chest. Thump, thump, thump! I slowly pushed the DVD tray shut. Without any prompt or confirmation, it just started. Something seemed odd straight away. Normally it would open with VLCs or Windows Media Player. However, this was odd. It just opened with no video player. It seemed the computer itself was a video player, but it couldn't be. It seems like any normal netbook the interns and staff carried. Or was it?
And that's the end of the story, guys. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
As the title card flashed, I could immediately see my first assumption what was wrong. It wasn't a cherry or slightly edited build. It never had title cards. This was either finished or just ready to leave production. The title card seemed odd. I had never seen anything like it. Instead of the usual fun font they used that popped and seemed colourful, of course to appeal to more children, it seemed more gothic. Something you would see in a horror film. The words in the title card made my heart sink farther.
I am your father.
What scared me this terribly though. The words read, "You nosy intern, you shouldn't have come in here."
I'm going to hold you, you son of a bitch.
As the usual happy baffled transition that was all used to was gone. The text just melted the screen, almost like blood running down a wire.
That's an acid trip.
I'm so fucking high right now.
Seconds of utter silence.
It transitioned into one of the familiar openings, with Spongebob slowly snoring in bed and Gary sleeping beside him on his newspaper. The blowhole of the alarm clock was there, even the bed was. I began to feel relieved. I remembered all this form when I was a kid. Form? When I was kid. It seemed normal, but was it? Oh dear God, I was wrong. Forgive me. You must forgive me. I am choked up. Just right.
Told you it's a softcore corner.
Knew it.
I wanted to forget this, but something compels me to share my story. I was expecting the blowhole to go. And SpongeBob's to start his typical routine. Oh, how bad that thing annoyed me as a kid. But it didn't come. There must have been at least 3+ minutes of just SpongeBob snoring. Then, something finally happened. It started to slowly pan into his face. Oh, so slowly, waiting in anticipation, just dying for cum. I mean, for
This is the best grade 7 class, I swear to God.
I would later greatly regret this decision. Oh, what I would give if it just ended right then and there. As it finally reached deep into his face, you could clearly see his expression. It was one of horror. Damn you! It was one of horror. Madness. One someone in a terrible nightmare would have. His eyes, almost as if they had been stitched shut. It then had a transition, not the usual fade to black or the joyful bubbles, but something altogether much more sinister. It was a fiery transition, almost like the previous screen had just burned up. By all appearances, we were now in SpongeBob's mind, in his dream, his nightmare. It appeared to be Bikini Bottom. Oh, but there was something very, very wrong. The whole scene shambles. The horizon blood red, the building burning. SpongeBob was just walking down the road. It seemed the typical path he would normally take to the Krusty Krab. And the people around him, oh dear God, I still remember it. The blood-curdling screams. At this moment, I realized there was something very wrong. Oh, it only took you this long to realize.
What a demo.
This had no appeal to children. Hell, most adults find this a bit morbid at this point. Yeah, you'd think so. The scream. Oh, the scream. It was someone in great pain being tortured or slowly dying. A blood-curdling. Now, just before I do this, yeah.
Everyone
probably
turn your sound down.
No,
Turn it
not
up.
loud.
Well done.
My ears hurt now.
At this point, I couldn't see who it was coming from, but SpongeBob walking, slowly, silently, as the screaming slowly continued, getting louder and louder. Oh God! I almost wanted to claw my eyes out. When he turned the corner, I saw the source of the screams. It was a terrifying... Shut up! It was a terrifying, horrible, inhuman... It was Patrick hammered into a stake, almost like the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. But also, his stomach. Oh God, it had been torn open. His entrails slowly leaking out. The look on his face, seeing SpongeBob. He seemed relieved for a moment, almost as if his salvation screamed. Wait, what? As salvation had come. I jumped the line. His eyes began to water, just staring at SpongeBob, almost beckoning. His eyes spoke for him. They screamed, "Please, SpongeBob! Oh God, please help me!" We then transitioned over to SpongeBob, and he now just stood there, staring back at Patrick, watching his friend slowly suffer and die. Patrick began to weep slowly, almost as if he understood something that I, the viewer, did not.
And in brighter news, Blink 182's on TV.
I don't give a shit.
SpongeBob then began to open his mouth. Ooh.
Ooh.
Slowly, in a low, almost satanic, demonic voice, he whispered,
"Suffer, fat one. You, the toad hound, brought this upon themselves."
and then he turned. And then he turned and slowly walked away. At this moment, I screamed out in horror, almost praying that someone would hear me. Someone would walk in. It would cost me my internship, but anything to end this. Now, you might find yourself thinking, why don't you just stand up at detention? Giggity English. Why don't you just get up and push the fucking door down? I couldn't. Something deep down inside me, ooh, very deep, told me if I moved, I would regret it. I had to finish watching. I just had to.
Oh God, I don't even want to... God damn it. SpongeBob then continued down the road, slowly approaching the Krusty Krab. In the background, you could now hear more screams, some horrible, blood-curdling ones. I'm reading this with a joy emphasis. Yeah.
This is a happy story.
Shh, come. You could tell that they came from one in great agony, but there had been one new sound thrown in, a horrible twisted laugh, one of great malice, almost as if someone had been hunting an animal and thoroughly enjoying himself all too much. You could hear them very distinctly fading away into the background, as if they were chasing something in the other direction. You could hear them. Oh, it even faded. It was still heart-stopping. I'm not even going to...
Go on. Go on. We don't continue till you do.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
SpongeBob seemed unpaused, as if
Unfazed.
he was almost used to it. You could now slowly hear him clattering behind him, slowly breaking the mind-numbing silence. It sounded almost as if someone was crawling slowly towards him. SpongeBob then slowly turned around, and if he expected this, and he slowly turned to his face slowly came into view. His eyes, they changed. They no longer seemed to be his normal, happy, joyful-looking eyes. They were blood red and full of madness, hate, and anger.
I didn't know that was all one giant sentence. There were no full stops.
Shut up. One would expect this face from a demon. Hell, even the devil himself would find this look fitting. I myself now slowly began to weep with no end to the horror. Shut up. His horror inside, his eyes now fixed on something. It slowly transitioned over. It was Patrick Oh God, please forgive me. No human should be forced to see that. His entire body was now, his entire lower body was now missing, with the intestines slowly trailing behind him. The trail of blood behind him was what was left of his arms had huge holes in them, almost as if something had been torn out of them. The nails, had he ripped off the steak? His face slowly came up, his eyes beckoned once more to Spongebob, but this time he said something different. He began to speak slowly, and I'll never forget those words. Kill me, please, I'm sorry, we're all sorry, just end it, please, I can't take the pain.
SpongeBob responded with a hellish tone, even worse than before. You asked for forgiveness from me. Take
That.
Couldn't even hear ya.
Got fucking gas.
You will receive no divine forgiveness from me. You see, it's my job to make you suffer. Burn, fat one. And
Talk for yourself.
his arms, hellish arms, seemed to just scrap the ground and grab hold of him and tore it down in what seemed like an endless hellish abyss.
Do you know what happened next, kid?
You could hear the blood curdling scream before him. Ah! Oh God! No!
I said no one too many times.
And
Wow.
SpongeBob slowly turned as if nothing had happened. He even let out a He ha ha. By this point, I'd almost been wishing for the same thing to happen to me, just so I wouldn't have to see this anymore. At this point, I was crying so hard, I almost felt like a little girl. Yeah, this is the point. I felt weak, empty, as if I was about to throw up. As much as I wanted to, I just couldn't choke anything out.
Just me, was this Nicholas guy an absolute pussy?
I'd say he is. I thought he'd been working out for 3 years.
He's worse than my 6-year-old brother.
Yeah.
SpongeBob then slowly approached. Finally, the doors of the Krusty Krab. The path behind him. Oh, God! The usual cheery path to the entrance had stakes all along it. Into them were hammered in the corpses... Wait, what? Into them were hammered in the corpses of our familiar favorite characters. Sandy, Mr. Krabs, Larry the Lobster, Pearl, Squidward, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, Mrs. Puff, and so on. And on their faces, they all too wore that expression of utter sorrow and horror, as if they died crying in fear of what stood before them. We then transitioned back to SpongeBob, who now reached the door.
I call bullcrap. Didn't Squidward already commit suicide before this?
Shut up!
The theatrical moment.
Yeah.
Something had happened out of this horrible nightmarish thing I was witnessing. The whole building began to shake, almost as if during an earthquake. The only light in the room blew out and the power went out. I was now in the dark, alone, in this shaking building. I could hear my fellow interns flee and the developers run out. Without even a second thought of where I was, you could hear the car tires squeal as they raced away. Why had they been in such a hurry to escape? I then turned back to the show almost as if I was being forced to watch.
He now stood alone in the Krusty Krab. All lights were out and there was utter silence, except a small red glow coming from the door that usually led to the kitchen. That oh-so-familiar kitchen where SpongeBob usually stood making his delicacies. He began to slowly approach it, slowly in silence. As he reached it, he stood in front of the door, almost as if he himself didn't want to go in. Reproachfully, he slowly turned the knob, and the door swung open. Shut up.
You are so immature.
God damn it. Oh, God.
You said no.
God, you're terrible. Can I continue now?
Go on.
Oh God, how I wish I could unsee what I saw and heard. SpongeBob faced a hellish demon of indescribable horror, burning in a portal of what seemed to be hell itself. Was this the devil? Oh God, the fear that came over me in that moment as its mouth slowly opened. Did you make them suffer, son? It asked in the most hellish tone imaginable.
Oh, you should
One
try
next
that again.
street- What?
You should try that again.
Don't want to.
Yeah, that was.
That wasn't very hellish.
I
That's like, how was your day, son?
Yeah.
Did you get an A?
How
Go
about
on.
you do it then?
I don't want to do it.
Right then, shut up.
Ah.
One of extreme rage, anger, malice, hatred. SpongeBob replied, slowly saying, almost afraid to reply, "Yes, father." They cried, they suffered and burned. A feast of souls waits for you below.
Its reply is simply, "Good son. Now back to your cage and be gone with you." And at that moment, I finally threw up all of my laughs. Shut up. To emerge from SpongeBob, and his body almost slowly deflated. It almost seemed to be a human, a dog, or something, or a god. I can't even find the word.
Keep saying, oh gods.
He's a blob doll.
It crawled towards the portal, and with a swift kick, its father kicked it into what appeared to be hell itself. Then it turned slowly, looked at me, the viewer, and slowly it mouthed something so subtle, so quiet, but chilling to the core. It seemed as if it was speaking to me. It said, "Oh, don't worry, your world is next. It will suffer at your hands as this one did at his." It slowly transitioned over to SpongeBob, or what was left of his corpse, just skin. "Oh, you will atone for what have you done. All of you. You're next."
Okay, I'd just like to say I came.
This is so immature, and this is coming from
Yeah.
a 13-year-old.
Anyway,
Move on.
with that, the computer itself slammed shut and burst into flames. As it slowly burned, I could only weep at this. This horror. This couldn't be real.
Nick! Nick! Wake up! My eyes slowly flashed open. I was in the break room on the floor. Above me stood my friend Tina, who said,
Oh God, thank God you're okay. You just collapsed. You've been out for about 5 minutes.
I want to punch Tina.
I want to punch her too.
Yes, I do.
my whole body was rattled, broken almost. Turning to her, I had this uncontrollable urge. Turning to Tina, I said, "Don't thank God on this day! He won't save us!
Penis.
He has abandoned us!
A different script.
Whoops.
His abominations! His failed creations!" Tina looked aghast, horrified. She ran out screaming, "Ah!" I quickly got up and quietly left. And here I sit, writing my story of the day, calmly. Maybe now I accept my place. And oh, I have work to do. Isn't that right, Tina? Slowly turning to her dismembered body. You're next. I end with this. I am coming! I am his chosen slayer for this world! A messenger of hell itself! And oh, I am coming for you! Each and every one of you! And you'll never stop me! Don't try to run or hide! I'll find you!
Written by the Midnight Wings.
Johnny's here.
This was
Johnny.
Here's Johnny!
alright. This story was written by the Midnight Wings, aka Nicholas James Rob
I
Schneider.
got Brazzers. I don't know what you guys got.
Hey?
It says written by Brazzers.
Inspired by Squidward's suicide. It was inspired by Squidward's suicide creepypasta and inspired by Alec Cremines. I think we've redefined creepypasta.
This is freaking
Not
awesome.
even scared.
I'm not scared
Anyone
at
who
all.
reads it is doing it wrong.
Worst script I've ever read in my entire life. That was just horrible.
Oh, and
Honestly.
you could do better. You could do better.
You should do better.
I
You should do better. That'd be
Where's the
amazing.
mute button for him?
I don't know.
Screw you guys.
I've lost it. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for listening to a good 25 minutes of of terrible
That's
reading.
only 25 minutes to read.
Yeah, we're up to 25 minutes to read that. That's amazing.
Oh my fucking god.
Us being dicks.
How long has the actual call been in hell?
What?
I don't know.
Like 48 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching what we're reading, everyone. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like it and add it to your favorites. Be sure to subscribe to my videos to be kept up to date with anything I decide to bring out in the near future. Guys, you should realize that this is my catchphrase, I'm pretty sure by now. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitch's channel.
Hold up.
What?
Hold up.
You can
Hold up.
You can attempt to make an animation for our little story.
I'm not going to, though.
No,
I'm
the
okay with
audience.
that.
The audience.
Oh, the audience. Yeah,
Audience.
Oh, wow, that'll be interesting. Yeah, that'd be interesting if you guys want to go ahead and try and animate a terrible, terrible, terrible story. Storytelling.
I don't see why you'd want to, but still.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to either, but you know, if you want to, if you're good at that kind of thing, and you feel like you want to do it, animate it, bring it to life a bit more, feel free to go ahead and do that.
The winner gets Dabrowski's revenue from YouTube partners. All 24 cents.
It's amazing. Oh,
27 cents.
now it's 24 or something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Peace.